I told this guy where I was from. He said, "Oh, Canada." Kinda laughed it off. Real funny, huh? Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first edition of Frostback MMA. This is a show where I'm going to break down upcoming UFC and Bellator fight cards. I'm your host, Canadian sensation himself, Josh Leduc. You may be asking, why am I qualified to break down cards for you, who obviously knows everything? I mean, come on. Canadian, can't be that smart, right? Wrong. I'm an analyst. I work for Pro MMA Now as a featured writer. BJJ Today is a featured writer. I co-founded Dissension MMA, and I've been around the sport for a while. Blue belt Brazilian Jiu-jitsu under Charles Dos Anjos, who's a 4th degree black belt under Royce Gracie himself. So, I know what I'm doing. I'm getting ready for my amateur MMA debut. I've been in the sport for a couple of years, so I know what I'm talking about. You don't. Let's get this straight, folks. Anyways, today I bring to you Ultimate Fight Night 29 in Brazil. Main event, Damian Maia versus Jake Shields. I'm just going to do the main card right now. I'm going to give you a list of all my picks for the fight, but for the sake of time, here's the main card. We start off the main card with Rafael Assunção versus TJ Dillashaw. Two great bantamweights. Assunção is a mean submission artist. He's got some good hands. He's well-rounded. With TJ Dillashaw coming out of that alpha male camp with Dwayne Bang Ludwig. I mean, they're 14-0 since Ludwig took over. Both guys are good on the ground. Dillashaw's got that nasty guillotine and choke specialty that all those team alpha male guys have. Assunção is coming off like an armbar win. But I mean, in my opinion, I'm going to take TJ Dillashaw just because you can't fight that momentum. If he wins, it's going to be 15-0 for Team Alpha Male under Dwayne Bang Ludwig. And, I mean, the guy's got great striking after Ludwig comes in. He's got that right hand. Great wrestler, humble guy. I just like him as a person and as a fighter. Great guy. Nothing against Rafael Assunção. He's coming on a big winning streak. But I think Dillashaw's got his number. Next, we got a fight in the welterweight division between Rousimar Palhares and Mike Pierce. I always want to say Mike Pierce, but I mean, that's just me. That's a great nickname, Mike Pierce. If you're listening to this, you might want to go for that. So, Rousimar Palhares, first fight at welterweight. You got to be thinking, how's that cut going to do for him? I mean, he was a big middleweight, not big height-wise, but he was thick, muscular, and tree stump-like, just like his nickname. Anyways, if Palhares can get it to the ground, I think he's got a good shot. My heart wants to go for Palhares, but when you have Mike Pierce, who's heavy-handed, good on the feet, and a fantastic wrestler against a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt like Palhares, I really can't see Palhares winning this fight, and it's sad because this is probably a loser leaves town situation for Palhares, because I mean, Mike Pierce is coming off a couple wins. Palhares is off that loss to big Cuban guy, I forget his name, Hector Lombard. So, I mean, unless he goes for a flying heel hook or something, probably not going to get the win. So, Mike Pierce. Probably pretty good odds right here, too. So, next bout, light heavyweight bout between Fabio Maldonado and Joey Beltran. Both really tough, durable dudes. This is probably not going to go to the ground. Money here for fight of the night. If you want to make a bet there, that's a good fight of the night right there. Maldonado is a great boxer, more technical than Beltran. Beltran's got the power, I'd say. But we have seen in the past Maldonado can take a great shot. We saw that against Glover Teixeira. He stood and banged. He even hurt Teixeira, which is pretty surprising, seeing as Maldonado should probably be fighting a middleweight. I mean, look at all the fat he's got on him. Beltran, he came down from heavyweight. If you can make it down to middleweight, I think both these guys would be great in the middleweight division, but one more than the other, and that's Maldonado. So, this is a really close fight. It's a toss-up, and I'm going to say Maldonado takes it because he's got the more technical striking. Beltran can take a punch, but I mean, against technical strikers, he's not fantastic. He's more of a brawler. But if Beltran gets the KO, I wouldn't be overly surprised. Next up, light heavyweight bout again, Thiago Silva versus Matt Hamill. Thiago Silva's coming off that knockout win of Rafael Cavalcante. I mean, Pretty good fight. I thought Cavalcante was going to win just because I think Thiago Silva's on the downside of his career. Everybody's saying, oh, it's a resurgence for him. But, I mean, if he can keep going without pissing hot, maybe. But against Matt Hamill, it's tough for me to pick against Matt Hamill. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to. Matt Hamill's a great wrestler. He's coming off that boring win over, I forget the guy, but it was his return from retirement. He said he had the cage rust. I believe him. Thiago Silva, not good off his back. We saw it against Rashad Evans. I mean, he's only been fighting strikers primarily. He does have a black belt in jiu-jitsu. We haven't seen him use it off his back. He had that arm triangle over the Russian that got overturned because he tested positive for marijuana. So, seeing as we're in Brazil, and everybody says in Brazil, drug testing is not as great, I don't think he's going to test positive in this fight. If he does, I wouldn't be surprised. But the big thing here, Matt Hamill, he's got a great chin. He's got knockout power too. You didn't see it in the last fight. He's only been knocked out by Gustafsson and that TKO by Rich Franklin because of a body shot. Both fantastic strikers. Gustafsson arguably won the fight against Jones, gave him the most anybody has in a title fight. I am going to go for the underdog here, Matt Hamill, just because of his great wrestling background. If he comes in, good shape, ready to go, hopefully he doesn't have the ring rust. He's not going to hear all the Brazilians shouting, I'm going to kill you in Portuguese, so that's a positive. I love Matt Hamill. I'm going to take him by unanimous decision for the upset. Great underdog, that right here. Next, co-main event, welterweight division, Eric Silva versus Dong-Hyun Kim. This very close fight. Silva's career has been kind of slow just because of injuries, but he is one of the hottest prospects. So is Dong-Hyun Kim. Two very, very young guys. Future of the welterweight division. Stun gun. I mean, he was nearing title contention until he got knocked out by Carlos Condit with that flying knee. Eric Silva doing fantastic until he got derailed by John Fitch, who actually came out to fight for once. Kind of cool to see that fight. Silva's a great submission artist. He's good on the feet, a lot of power. Dong-Hyun Kim, big welterweight, tons of wrestling, great judo background. I say Silva's got more of an advantage in the submission department and on the feet, but with Kim, he's got that long reach. He's going to be poking that jab out there, keeping Silva far away, and then coming in with that judo background, shoving him against the cage, trying to get him to the ground. And when you get him to the ground, I don't think Silva's going to be able to find the submission. I'm also kind of going for an upset here against Kim. This is a very, very close fight. Everybody's giving the fight to Eric Silva. Dong-Hyun Kim's got a lot more chance than most people think. I don't know why more people aren't picking him, but I got Dong-Hyun Kim. Probably by unanimous decision. Now we got the main event. Two grappling specialists, Damian Maia and Jake Shields. Both ADCC. If you guys don't know that, that's the Abu Dhabi Combat Club, one of the most prestigious Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments. Predominantly no gi. We've seen some gi super fights there. But Damian Maia has won the Abu Dhabi World Championship in the no gi division, and he's a runner-up. So he's gone twice, won once, runner-up second year. Jake Shields, he's taken bronze medal, I think it was in 03. I may be wrong. Maybe 09, don't quote me on that. But he beat Leo Santos, who's now in the UFC from the Ultimate Fighter Brazil. The big thing here is Damian Maia has looked fantastic since his drop to welterweight. I mean, his striking's looking better. He's out-wrestled John Fitch. He had that blood-curdling neck crank where the blood was spilling out of the nose of Rick Story. That was great. Jake Shields, he's been in kind of limbo fighting middleweight and welterweight. He's coming off that kind of controversial win over, I'm trying to remember now, the big guy, Tyrone Woodley. But I honestly thought he won. I thought he did enough. He only got hurt once. He was pushing Woodley back the entire time, though he didn't get the takedown. He controlled the fight, pushed it against the cage, made a dirty fight. He's not the most fan-favorite fighter, which is okay by me, because I think it's like this Cain Velasquez Jr. Dos Santos situation. You knock someone out in under a minute, you don't really know if you're better than him. I mean, anyone can get hit with a bad punch and go out. you control someone for 5 rounds and beat the crap out of them, that is more, it's higher in my eyes and it's more relevant to me. So I think in this fight, it's probably going to stay standing. And Jake Shields doesn't have great offensive striking. He's pretty good defensively. Damian Maia's got a lot better with his kickboxing. I mean, I wouldn't go out there and say he's a great striker, but it's definitely nothing to sleep on because he could catch it. So Jake Shields has said it himself. Damian Maia is probably the one guy who can submit him, and I completely agree with that. Jake Shields probably, I'm not sure if he could submit Damian Maia, but the thing is, if he gets on top, he could try to smother him GSP style. And Jake Shields is a big welterweight. I mean, he was decent size for middleweight, and in this fight, I'm going to pick Damian Maia just because he has more tools. He's probably got the better gas tank, and he's got the better striking, better submissions, and we saw that he could out-wrestle people in that win against John Fitch. And I think John Fitch is a way better wrestler than Jake Shields. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say Damian Maia is going to get the submission. If not, he's going to get the decision and win. Pretty safe pick there. I'm not sure what the odds are if they're close. I would pick Damian Maia over him, put some money down, good bets right there. And, of course, that'll lead us to the conversation. Where is Damian Maia after a win over Jake Shields? Jake Shields fought GSP a couple years ago. He's been in limbo, definitely not a top 10 guy in my opinion. Well, maybe top 10, lower end, maybe 9 or 10. Really depends who you have ranked. But I think with the win over Shields, there's not that much going on in the welterweight division right now because you got Matt Brown fighting Carlos Condit coming up. So maybe the winner of those two fights fight for a title eliminator against either GSP or Johnny Hendricks. If Johnny Hendricks gets the win, then there's obviously going to be an immediate rematch, seeing that GSP's been the pound for pound number 2 guy in the world for years. So that'll hold up the welterweight division if he does win. If he loses, then I think this is either going to be leading to a title fight for Damian Maia or a number 1 contender fight against the winner of Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown. It's going to be a great fight. Great card in Brazil. Again, I will give you the rest of my picks. You can find them and complete fighter breakdowns on ProMMANow.com. Look for me on the BJJ Today. I do tons of reviews on gis, supplements, workout equipment. Then I do a lot of breakdowns of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu matches or just opinion articles there. I mean, it's a great site for all you grappling fans, and I want to go out and thank all my sponsors. I have Enzo Kimonos, great sponsor, quality gis. They have a 15% off sale all weekend long. I'm going to put this up today, so it's still going to be relevant. So go to enzokimono.com, go buy your gis, great stuff, really cool gis. They have the rash guards on the inside. Also, I want to thank Endless MMA, another one of my sponsors, and Positive Outfitters. They're coming out with supplements, gear. They have great shirts. It's just an overall fight apparel and fight wear sponsor. It's fantastic. And I want to thank ATH Sports Nutrition. They make some of the best stuff. They're not one of my sponsors yet. Hopefully one day. Come on, when you guys get a little bit bigger, I'm here. Get you into the Florida market. But anyways, ATH, best recovery shake I've ever had. Tastes the best, all natural, and you can't recover as well without this. I mean, it is fantastic. I wake up less sore. I wake up with my muscles feel great, and I'm just ready to start my day again and go back to training. So anyways, this was the first broadcast of Frostback MMA, the Canadian sensation right here, Josh Leduc. Thanks for watching, folks.
Come on. 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.